Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Remind podcast. I'm Dr. Ashleigh Moreland and I am joined by my co-host David Masterton. If you haven't watched the last few episodes or listened to the last few episodes, I strongly encourage you to go back and listen because we've been on a little bit of a roll here, primarily understanding relational dynamics and how we show up in different settings and situations. Last episode, we really talked about observing yourself, and I shared how I recommend people record themselves with consent. You know, if you're in a relationship, record the conversation and watch it back together for the purpose of your learning. But where we kind of finished that was being a team, recognizing that if you are in relationship, you are a team who is there working collaboratively, working together to co-create a successful relationship. Now, this brings up for me this concept of setting each other up for success versus setting each other up for failure. And I want to talk about a topic called what I called sentimental projection. And in the context of setting each other up for failure. So where this came from is I saw a post online about someone going, oh, I've been with my partner for 10 years, but yesterday was our 1-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
And he didn't do anything for it, and he didn't do this, and he didn't do that, and he never bought a gift, and all this sort of stuff. And
it's going to be a cold night in the doghouse.
Right. Now, sentimental projection. Women tend to be, I'm going to speak in generalizations here, but I'm going to be really conscious to use language like tend to be, because not all women are sentimental and some men are sentimental. However, generally speaking, the female brain is wired more for emotion and nurture. The male brain is wired more so for logic and reasoning. Practicality, logic and practicality. So, the morning of the anniversary, wife wakes up with anticipation. Sentimental
What's Anna do today?
Expectation, anticipation. Now, her sentimental attachment to the date is the thing that hurts her feelings. Potentially. Because if we've set our partner up for failure, knowing that they're not maliciously waking up going, oh, you know what? You know what'll really get her? I'm going to pretend I didn't even know what today was. I'm just going to ignore the whole anniversary and I'm just going to sit there and watch this with popcorn. Generally, people are not doing that. They're waking up on a Thursday wondering what they're going to have for breakfast today, wondering if Jimmy's going to show up for work or if he'll be late again, wondering, whether they should go to footy training tonight.
Yep. What happened to the Roman Empire?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures or the memes where it's like the man and the woman in bed and she's got her back turned and she's sitting there and she's like ruminating and overthinking.
Yeah, like Betty's thinking about other women.
Thinking about other women or something. And he's sitting there like, I've seen so many variations of it. I've seen one where it's like his brain is just empty. I've seen other ones where it's like, I wonder why the chicken crossed the road. Just complete nothing, no emotional attachment whatsoever, just off in their own little world. And the female brain with their emotional attachment will assign a meaning, and the mind is the meaning maker. So you're assigning a meaning to this. So one of the ways we set each other up for failure and completely destruct teamwork in terms of relationships is we project our meanings into situations. And so this, really got me thinking about, well, what does it look like if you set them up for success? For example, my husband is not a super sentimental guy. In some ways he is, but like as far as anniversaries, dates, even birthdays, we got married the day before my birthday so that, actually, his birthday, 3rd of April. We got married the 4th of April. My birthday's the 5th of April.
I mean, I have to commend this. This is, for someone who doesn't pay a lot of attention to dates, this is magnificent.
Now, look how kind of genius this is. Because I remember his birthday, and then he goes, that's the cue to go, oh, tomorrow's our wedding anniversary, and then it's Ash's birthday.
Oh. I mean, I think your parents need to take some credit into the whole timing of all of this as well. But I've got to say, the fact that, I mean, it's got brilliance written all over it. Like,
Brilliant.
it's just, oh my God.
Okay, so he always knows when our wedding anniversary is because I remember his birthday and then he knows it's tomorrow. So, but to set each other up for success, I'm not saying you have to be strategic about the date of your wedding, but what I am saying is for us to be set up for success and for us to be able to co-create a healthy, happy relationship, we need to have shared meaning. We need to have shared expectations and shared understandings and go, okay, through an open and honest conversation, I might say to my husband, you know, our wedding anniversary is really important to me. Does it mean much to you? And know that if he says, no, it doesn't mean much to me, it's not a personal attack. It's just that he doesn't assign sentimental value to a date.
Does this marriage mean nothing to you?
Right? Which is, what did you hear that I didn't say? We've got a whole episode on it, guys. It's actually one of our most listened to episodes, so go and listen to it. It's not that at all. Him not having sentimental meaning or not assigning sentimental meaning to a date in the calendar does not mean he doesn't love me. It simply means that his logical and practical brain is like, I love you every day. Why would I love you more that day? I don't get it.
Yeah. And
However, if something means something to you, by virtue of it being important to you, you can co-create a celebration where he is essentially celebrating with you. He's not celebrating for you. And this is where people, like, setting each other up for failure is, I expect you to do this for me. And it's for my happiness, for my sense of feeling loved, for my worthiness, for me.
Yeah, it's like
it's no longer about us and we.
Yeah, so I love that idea of, you know, sort of like the co-celebration kind of thing. And again, we are talking about a very stereotypical, almost, you know, and we could even say a previous version of what society would have set, right? Because everything's kind of shifting. We're just using it as a way to explore the theory. We're not sort of typecasting at this point. But I sort of love that, you know, because there's two things around it. You could sort of say, Alexa, remind my husband about the anniversary in 1 week's time. Or it could be, you know, this is really important to me. You know, for me, dates are arbitrary. They are things that happened and events that happened on a certain time. However, the meaning behind it, some years there might be meaning, other times there's not. But it doesn't mean that it sort of changes the way in which I love that person.
Exactly.
Because it could be a month prior that something else happened and then suddenly I just wanted to absolutely love the hell out of them because of something else that happened. What I don't want to do is have to put a pin in that and try and drag it out to a certain date to then try and put a pin back in because suddenly I'm out of flow. It came to me then, and so I'll allow that to happen or try and save up credits to try and just initiate on a certain day. But some people might be like that. But it's really going to come down to, just because we say in this there's sentimental stereotypes, it doesn't mean that you have to accept behaviour from someone that really grinds with you. So sharing that to sort of say the date's really important. Okay, right, yes, okay, if the date's really important, the date's really not that important to me. So let's work together on how we can do that. Chances are unless there's a framework around sort of pointing at today or tomorrow or next week, there's this thing that I need to keep in my sphere that I need to do something about,
Yeah.
then I kind of need that. But it's outside of my flow.
Yeah.
But
And not only that, it's like, it's not just remembering the date. It's when people have sentimental projection around expectations, this is what celebrating that date would look like. So in the projected fantasy, it's like, well, you would get up and you would make me a coffee and you would buy me flowers and you would make a dinner reservation and you would book us a 3-night weekend out of the state. And if they woke up and had booked a 3-night vacation out of the state but didn't do the coffee and never brought home flowers, or this is a weird one that comes up often for couples, is you never posted about our anniversary on social media.
oh,
They might do all the things.
Are you embarrassed of us?
Exactly. And so they could do all the things, but then because they haven't publicized it, there's meaning assigned to that. And so here's the setting it up, like actually painting a picture and going, for example, there was, I think it was this year actually, we had been riding a wave from hell. We had a very extremely challenging time. The last 18 months of my life have been really hard. It's been a really hard season. And my husband and I made the decision, we were like, you know what would celebrating our wedding anniversary this year look like? What feels good for you? And he said, honestly, I just want to go out for a meal together. Like, let's just go. And I think we went out for lunch. It wasn't even like a dinner. It was just a quiet little lunch for the two of us. And that was it. That's all we did. We didn't do gifts. We didn't do anything else. But it was the open conversation around what would celebrating our marriage, the anniversary of our marriage, what would celebrating that look like for you this year? What are you feeling? So I think having those open and honest conversations and going, help me understand, let me into what your expectations are this year. And then collaboratively making that happen. That's we're doing this together, not for each other.
And look, I think I wouldn't mind just exploring the other side, because I think we've spent a fair bit of time sort of, I suppose, focused on the female side, sort of maybe having to be a lot more self-reflective and accountable than the male side. And being a male, last time I checked, I can absolutely look at where these things are relevant to me and how I created it, which is more important, right? So it's not like I just woke up and suddenly was in a 10-year relationship. That 10-year relationship had a day one. That 10-year relationship had a first date. That 10-year relationship had all of this in it. Now, if I go back to the version of who I was and what I did, day one, day 10, month one, year one, chances are I fed into that stereotype from the other side.
As in, like, you were very attentive and you celebrated everything and
There was flowers, there was romance, there was all of these things, because that's what you do to get your partner.
The courting.
Yes, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so it's not just like this sort of stereotype that in this example, that the feminine has to sort of go, well, you're just wired that way. Chances are it was bloody well reinforced by that person that you're pissed off about, that you're now having to change because he's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's not me. So I think also from the male version in this scenario, there has to be, okay, stop. What were you doing day one? What did you do date one? What did you do in the first year of being married? How did you propose? What was the wedding like? What was the 1-year anniversary like? And then start to go, okay, have you fed into this as well? And then go, okay, how can we sort of work on this together, as opposed to it just being a flat out sort of, okay, you're maternal, you're emotional, now you need to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, because you need to understand that I've got a logical brain, and you. No, because funnily enough, in the past, the longer I've been with someone, the less romantic I've been, and that's sort of something I've had to really look at. And like right at the start, like I can see narcissistic tendencies here within how I was previously. And it's like really, and then just drops over time.
Yeah.
And then suddenly go, ooh. Now, in my next relationship, I guarantee it's going to be 1,000% different because I'm 1,000% different to what I was back then. Not because I've been flexing my relationship muscles. It's been the opposite. I've been spending a lot of time by myself, working on myself, all by myself. But it also, for someone who's already been in that relationship, you need to look back and go, how have you fed into it? And you just can't pull the handbrake and then sort of say change overnight.
Yeah.
So it works both ways.
100%.
So,
I think that's super important to acknowledge.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we've held a thought for over 3 weeks. We need to give ourselves credit for this. Just so happened, we've got the same background, same clothes. Purely coincidental. But it's been pretty incredible. So, after this, we've probably got like 8 episodes left till the end of the year. So, and for those who are just joining us, yes, we are wrapping up this style of the Rewind podcast at the end of this year. It's going to launch into something different. What that looks like, well, you'll find out next year. And but in the meantime, if you want us to work through something, talk about something, explore it, we can hold a thought for 3 weeks. So if it's something like it's really juicy and gets us going, then no, it could end up into a sort of multi-part thread. But really appreciate every one of you watching, like, subscribe. And
share it with someone.
Share it in a positive way. Not to say I told you.
Yes.
Hopefully we've covered both sides of the coin that allows it sort of, from both sides. But look, till next week, bye-bye.
Bye.